Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for tuning in. I want to read you this. By the way, below is my, well, once this is uploaded, below will be my Federalist article on AOC's Green New Deal. Please go ahead and check that out. Federalist is a wonderful publication. I'm very proud to be published there. Check that out. Also, my Jerusalem Post op-eds and my Daily Caller article, recent one, will be there as well. And my Second Amendment channel. To my super chat, thank you so very much as well. You give me every incentive to rock these live streams. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to read you something that Madam Secretary stated. I just love the hilarious response I get when I state the obvious that Madam Sec. Well, let's just read this, okay? Let's just read this. Everyone take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, ladies and gentlemen. Take a deep breath, and let's just see what Clinton says about running. Quote, I will look carefully at what I think I can do and make that decision sometime next year. It's such a difficult decision, and it's one that I'm not going to rush into. And I don't think we should be looking at the next election, the former Secretary of State said. I think we should be looking at the work that we have today. I knew that I wanted to get off this high wire that I had been on for so long. And of course I want to see a woman in the White House. And, quote, I don't know the exact timing of it or who that might be. Does that sound like someone who is just contemplating running? I'm going to read this to you again. I know it's annoying. Please, let me just read this to you again. And you'll get the point. This is Politico. I will look carefully at what I think I can do and make that decision sometime next year. It's such a difficult decision, and it's one that I'm not going to rush into. And I don't think we should be looking at the next election. I think we should be looking at the work that we have today. I knew that I wanted to get off this high wire, and I had been on for so long. Somebody says, you got to run. And she says, I don't know the exact timing of it or what or who that might be of the next female president. Of course, I do want to see a woman in the White House, she added. This was in 2013. On whether she would run in 2016. Okay. Every single election, whether it was in 2007, 06, well, we're thinking, I'm not sure. Of course, she's 100% certain. She knows exactly she wants to run. She's wanted to become the president of the United States when she was first lady. This is also a fact. Why do people, I get it. Everyone's so afraid. I get it. You're petrified. I get it. But when the Washington Post and the New York Times and CNN, MSNBC, and Hollywood and the music industry and all your favorite liberal pundits and many of their progressive pundits, when they say, oh my God, you know what? Don't like Hillary, but you know what? Trump is just so horrible. And you know what? We need a tough person. Hillary Clinton on possible 2020 run. I'd like to be president. In her entire life, has she ever liked to do something and then not done everything humanly possible and even not humanly possible to achieve whatever goal she wanted. You tell Clinton that she can't run because she lost, twice or 3 times. No, twice. 08 and 16. You tell Clinton she can't run. You think Bill is? Honey, do you really want to? Okay, fine. Just don't throw the Bible at me. Why is it so? Why, this is the funny thing. When I said she couldn't win in 2015, people were saying, oh my God, hyperbole, clickbait, clickbait. And now I'm saying she's running, and then you can't win. You understand? You can't win. You cannot win. You cannot win. They have H.A. Goodman derangement syndrome. I just want to tell you, when you hear little feelers, she's running in 2007, 2008, 2017, 2018, 2019. She will run again. She might have Biden or Kamala Harris or Bernie as her running mate. Who knows? She will run again. And she will wait until Elizabeth Warren and Kamala Harris and Kristen Gillibrand and everyone else, and especially Bernie Sanders, creates enough voter enthusiasm. How many people do you think would be jumping up and down at the notion of Clinton running? She's not stupid. She wants them to tire out, to raise enough money essentially for her. All the money that people give to Bud Drake, all the money that people give to Bernie and to everyone else is all gonna, is essentially being funneled into Clinton 2020. Do you think that she's not going to run after 2 years of hearing that Russia interfered in the election and that, oh my God, look what, Trump didn't get Putin in a headlock at Helsinki? And everything going on now between Russia and the U.S., I'm not going to get into it right now, but suddenly people on their left are like, oh, look what's going on. This is crazy. This is terrible. The liberal media and political establishment and many progressives as well pushed this. Trump came in saying, just like Obama, hey, I want good relations with Vladimir Putin. Now you have exactly what you've created. This is people on the left. And then they say, well, you know what? He's not bringing Americans home. Yeah, he is bringing Americans home. That's the policy that he's reversing of keeping them there forever. And who is impeding the policy objective? Who is trying to prevent this? Democrats, intelligence officials who side with Democrats, liberal pundits. Even Bernie Sanders was dragging his feet on it. Oh, well, it has to be an orderly withdrawal. I'm telling you, look, if you don't believe me, because I know you don't want Freddy Krueger or Jason from Friday the 13th to run again. I get it. I understand. I get it and I understand. Okay, I understand. Okay, but here is you can hear Madam Secretary herself. Here she is. Hold on one second. Here she is. Does this sound like somebody who's not running? Hold on one second. Agent Pepsi! H.A., what you are saying is that Democrats are incredibly dumb and naive. And that's not true. But actually, you know what? I'm beginning to believe that every day now. I'm beginning to believe that every single day. Agent Pepsi, thank you. I hope all is well. Yes, I'm beginning to believe that every single day. But does this sound... Thank you, Agent Pepsi, as always. Thank you. But does this sound like somebody who isn't going to run? This was when... this is the same conference where Hillary Clinton referred to all black people as looking alike, which, of course, the left didn't care about on Twitter because it wasn't a Republican, but let's go ahead. Here's Hillary.
No, that was a pause. Well, I'd like to be president. Okay. I think, hopefully, when we have a Democrat in the Oval Office in January of 2021, there's going to be so much work to be done. I mean, we have confused everybody in the world, including ourselves. And we have confused our friends and our enemies. They have no idea what the United States stands for, what we're likely to do, what we think is important. So the work would be work that I feel very well prepared for, having been in the Senate for 8 years, having been a diplomat in the State Department. And it's just going to be a lot of heavy lifting.
So are you going to be doing any of that lifting? Do you feel like?
Oh, I have no idea, Kara, but
I have no idea.
You know, I'm not going to even think about it until we get through this November 6th election about what's going to happen after that.
I'm not going to even think about it. I'm not going to even think about it.
Heavy lifting.
So are you going to be doing any of that lifting? Do you feel like?
Oh, I have no idea, Kara, but I'm going to.
I have no idea. Who in their right mind? She just said, I'd like to be president. Who in their right mind believes that Clinton has no idea? She's running, okay? I'm telling you, she's running. And you could thank me, everyone. You're welcome for that beautiful voice. That is just so lovely. I actually go to bed at night listening to Madam Secretary. We came, we saw. Clinton, I think we should be looking at the work that we have today. I knew that I wanted to get off this high wire that I've been on for so long. It's such a difficult decision, and it's one that I'm not going to be rushed into. I don't think we should be looking at the next election. This was 2013. Of course, she was always planning. Hillary Clinton, on 2016, I'll make that decision sometime next year. She didn't know. Don't you understand? This is ABC News. I'll make that decision sometime next year. This was before 2016. This was in 2000. This is the beginning, almost the beginning of 2014. ABC News. I'll make that decision next year. What makes you think she's not running again? And if you think it's absurd, I also thought it was beyond ludicrous. Hillary Clinton, will she run or won't she run in 2016? I mean, this little charade, this game, it's old. The game, really? You know, we don't know. I think I'm just going to give $27 to Bernie. According to the ABC yesterday, Bernie's going to win it all, so I guess you can quit broadcasting. Yeah, Rob589, Daily Beast published a hit piece on me from a guy who just wanted to write the hit piece because I was saying Bernie was going to win. Now, when he's no longer a threat, thank you, Rob589. When Bernie is no longer a threat, the Daily Beast then, of course, says wonderful things about Bernie Sanders. But I was, the really horrible person. Daily Beast writes a hit piece on me in the most unethical manner possible, simply because they didn't like my political stance. That's it. And because I refused to speak to the journalist that I knew was going to write the hit piece. And now they love Bernie. Why? Because he's essentially fundraising for Hillary. All of them are. Do you think the country is going to rally around Elizabeth Warren? Bernie Sanders doesn't even have support within the Democratic Party. He's not a Democrat. Every day, he's not a Democrat. It's the same thing, but worse. There are now clones of Bernie. Bernie vows to defeat America's most dangerous president. Are you kidding me? He's bringing home Americans from war. Something that I said I was going to do. And he's presiding over an economy with more jobs than people to fill them. He's presiding over peace between North and South Korea. This guy is a danger to humanity. And what he said about Deborah Wasserman, I'll tell you what, I'll meet you in the alley outside the White House. I have a little bit. I was the 1953 Golden Gloves champion in the Bronx. And if little Donnie wants to go 12 rounds, you know who to call, little Donnie. They're fundraising for Hillary. My God almighty. They are all fundraising now for Hillary. They are look, Clinton is going to swoop in, whatever, descend like a falcon sinking its claws into like a little rabbit. One day I was at a barbecue at my uncle's house. And he lived in a mountainous area. And it was like 4th of July, and the tiny little bunny, oh, cute little bunny hopping. He had a little like stretch of grass right next to the pool. And it was, little bunny, look at that little bunny. And out from nowhere comes this like falcon. I'm not kidding. And sinks its claws into the little bunny rabbit and flies off with it. And I was like, ah! It was crazy. It was crazy. But Rob589, thank you. And that's what that's what Hillary's going to do. And yes, that did happen. Everybody is going to fall in line. You think there's independent thought on the left? No way. Because they've already knocked out, like, where's the Green Party? Like, what's Jill Stein doing? They are so traumatized. They are so incredibly traumatized. They have now, the nightmares they had about Bernie Sanders for 2 years are coming out on Twitter. I thank God I'm not on Twitter anymore. Not that I would defend Bernie, because, I'm a Trump supporter and Bernie Sanders is basically in on it, raising money for Hillary now. But, like, Russia launched pro-Jill Stein social media blitz to help Trump win. NBC News writes this nonsense. Russia helped pro-Jill Stein. So, look. Don't worry about what's happening between the U.S. and Russia now. It's exactly what Democrats wanted. So if you're on the left, don't pretend to be caring now. No, Lord, not again. Stupid. Okay. Well, what's going on here? Look, do you think that anyone... Not a UK deplorable! HA, never underestimate Hillary's resolve. I agree. But I just don't see her running. I think even she knows she's been rejected twice. She knows she is toxic in the American people's eyes. I hope she does, though. Maddie, you're 100% right. And thank you, Maddie, UK deplorable. Thank you. Maddie, you're 100% right. But okay, you're 100% right. I agree with you. But she doesn't care. If one state in the United States of America had to be, God forbid, no longer exist. If she were to run, she would take that. She'd be like, I just have to for the people. It's like, there's a state that no longer will exist. This is an alternate reality. A state will no longer exist if you... There goes Vermont. She's like, I just have to erase Vermont. Sorry. She will, of course, you're 100% right. Toxic is the nicest word you could say. 3 times a charm. And you know what? She'll run from prison, or she'll run from the courthouse She'll eventually get indicted. She'll run again. She's running again, ladies and gentlemen. And again, Maddie, UK deplorable, thank you. You're 100% right, but she doesn't care. She probably takes it as a badge of courage. Well, you know, Nixon lost a bunch of times and he came back. People in Hollywood, look, you even have actors, you have Hollywood and politics. Let's say you have actors fabricating crimes to further their career. What average person does this? Nobody does this. Clinton is still being investigated. She transferred top secret intelligence outside of the United States government on servers that were hacked by the planet. We know that she broke legal statutes. James Comey stated this. We know that all the FBI agents covered up her crimes. We know that I know she'll eventually get indicted. She does not care. The people around her don't care because they view Trump, even though he didn't commit any crimes, to be worse. She is done. She has stated worse. She has stated more egregious, just the most horrific things she's done, the most vile things she's stated in terms of rhetoric, far more than Trump, but they view everything morally relative. We've had 2 years of nonstop propaganda with Trump Russia that never happened. It was all fabricated because Clinton purchased the Steele dossier and outsourced CrowdStrike. And she is going to run again. You're talking about an individual with the drive and determination of 1,000 Tom Brady's. Tom Brady has 10 Super Bowls, whatever. 6, or 7. I lost count. I'm tired of the Patriots. But if Clinton says, in October, I'd like to be president, when was the last time she wanted something and didn't get what she wanted? Oh, I want servers outside of the United States government. No country would allow this. The UK would not. There's not a country on the planet. The Russians certainly wouldn't. There's not one country who would allow a top diplomat. Thank you, Maddie, UK deplorable. Red Shield. No. Thank God she's great. She's happy. She's fine. She's going to run again. And her new name, people are going to say, is going to be Madam President. She'll lose, of course, but she doesn't care. If you got paid to lose, if you got paid millions upon millions upon millions of dollars to lose, it's lucrative. You get the accolades. And at the end of the day, you could blame Russia, but if you never took responsibility for your failure, and if your failures were lucrative, then you'd want to fail. There are people who will vote for Clinton, even if she's indicted, and she will be eventually, because she committed major, major, major crimes. I mean, the Espionage Act is one of the crimes. Campaign finance violations beyond. I wrote about that in the Daily Caller. She doesn't care. So all of this stuff like Medicare for all, please go ahead and give them to my campaign. Red Shield, thank you. Together we can fight the worstest, most horriblest, most evilest president who is a horrible, horrible human being. And honestly, he's just terrible. Do the Democrats like me? No? What more do I have to do? How about a photo shoot with Deborah Wasserman? What more can I raise $6 million? What more do you want? I gave you $200 million last election. Here's the plan. I'll just go ahead and pretend I'm running. And at the end of the day, Hillary will decide last minute she wants to run. And everyone will say, I had enough of your emails like I did. And it's all good. So, what can I tell you other than donate to the campaign? It'll be fantastic. We're going to fight the oligarchy, patriarchy. And the thing is, like, at the end of the day, who is actually dismantling all of this? It's Trump. Trump is dismantling all of it. He wanted better relations with Russia. And of course, that didn't turn out the way he wanted because Democrats and media and failed intelligence chiefs weren't having any of it. They don't even want Americans being brought home from it. That's why when people are like, he's not bringing anyone home. It's like, do you not want that to happen or do you want that to happen? I'm trying to find Bernie Sanders' quote here. So he's all for one end. Bernie Sanders' statement. Hold on one second. Where's Trump? There was one tweet where he was like, it has to be an orderly withdrawal. Yeah, and withdrawing soldiers from 2 theaters of war is going to take several months. Here, U.S. troop withdrawal could take several months. Fine. But at least he's doing what Bernie said that he was going to do, which he probably wouldn't have done because, many 2020 Democrats silent on Trump's troop withdrawals. Gee, I wonder why. Then Bernie Sanders, okay, U.S. troops should be withdrawing, but in a planned and coordinated way. Gee, thanks, Bernie. That's really great. So you're basically condemning him for not withdrawing not bringing home Americans in the orderly way you would have. Cory Booker, Trump's withdrawal is reckless, but no comment on whether U.S. forces should leave. Kamala Harris, diplomacy cannot be through tweets. What? It's like, and then Sherrod Brown, troops should withdraw, but not in the way Trump is doing it. What do you mean? Like actually withdrawing them, bringing them home? What other way do you want soldiers to withdraw than bringing them home? What other way? They should withdraw and come home to their families, but what we should do is it should be an orderly, kind of like a fire alarm drill. You remember when you were in high school or middle school? People should line up a certain way and wait until the teacher says. It's like he's bringing Americans home, but of course not as fast as we want him to. Omar Pena, thank you. Even Bernie Sanders can't even say, yeah, Trump did a good thing. Like, who are you kidding? At the end of the day, you've laid the groundwork. You have created the animosity needed. When people say, oh, well, Trump speaks to violent people. No, actually, it's the left that does. That's why you have people fabricating events. That's why you have people going after Republican congressmen at a baseball game. That's why you have people just fomenting such hate. You can't even wear a MAGA hat because suddenly it's been turned into this, symbol of just the most atrocious things. The hate isn't coming from conservatives to the left. It's from the left to conservatives primarily. Kamala Harris, I am not a democratic socialist. You think Bernie's going to win? He has basically a zero chance of winning. He is Polls show competitive matchup. If O'Rourke ran for Senate again, oh, okay. Well, he had to outspend Cruz, who's not a good candidate, almost 2-1. They need enthusiasm. Hillary is running again, and I will say that every single day. She's running again. Do you think? I mean, but think about it. You're not going to outspend, and there's nobody else who will come close to Trump. And I don't even care if Hollywood, no one is going to outspend Trump with Elizabeth Warren or even with Bernie or even with Kamala Harris or Kristen Gillibrand. No one's going to outspend Trump by a large margin. Maybe they might outspend Trump, but Democrats need to go 2-1. Democrats stand for nothing. Clinton lost. She outspent Trump 2-1. I stated she would lose in 2016. In 2015, I said she would lose. She did. And she's going to lose again, but she doesn't care. It's a money-making. If she can roll the dice, if Democrats can roll the dice and make a lot of money, because a lot of money is going to pour in from Hollywood, donors, access, same thing. It's the networking event. The fact that Hillary Clinton referred to black youth as super predators, no one's going to care about that on the left. Suddenly, the ID politics and all that stuff, we'll just forget about it. We got to defeat Trump. They'll vote for Hillary Clinton. And everyone is going to get in line. Because if you don't get in line, if you say, nah, I'm not voting, you are then helping Trump. Because that's one of the reasons, a big reason people didn't like me when I was on the left. I was like, nah, I'm not voting for Clinton ever. Like, what? You are a danger. You're a real big problem. H.A. Goodman has lost his mind. Blah, 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 blah. The only way you defeat the Democratic Party, or the only way you can actually revamp the Democratic Party, if you truly believed in Medicare for all, which isn't feasible, and Democrats don't believe in it at all. There's no Medicare for all bill that they're pushing. Is to say, look, I'm not voting. I'm not voting for your political party. If you cheat, and if you cheat, there's going to be consequences. Then the Democrats would know, oh my goodness, if we're too corrupt, we won't win. We definitely won't win. Because the majority of Bernie voters, the majority voted for Clinton. The majority of Bernie voters will vote for Clinton again. Bernie was cheated. He advocated for Clinton. Almost every Bernie Sanders supporter either pretended that they were voting for Clinton or used the whole Jill Stein get out of, jail card, like, oh, well, I did vote for Jill Stein. No, it's like I was voting for Jill Stein and writing about Jill Stein on the left because she wanted to bring home Americans. That's one of the main reasons. She wanted to revamp the system, but I mean, she couldn't have. I knew she wasn't going to win. It was a protest, more of a protest vote. Fine, but that's the point. The Democratic Party knows they can even cheat people during a primary, and still they'll demand absolute obedience and allegiance, and they'll get it. And don't think, ladies and gentlemen, that people have their own sense of critical thinking or their independence. There is no such thing as independence. There is no such thing as independent thought on the left. It is 100% groupthink. 100% groupthink. So they're going to Hillary Clinton on possible 2020 run. I'd like to be president. This is the New York Times. This is October 2018. And then just 3 weeks ago, you got the same thing in 2019. And then she goes into her resume. I feel very well prepared. I've been in the Senate for 8 years. I've been a diplomat at the State Department. She was a diplomat at the State Department. She committed crimes for 4 years at the State Department. She literally, we're still trying to, Lindsey Graham's going to investigate again. Hillary Clinton going to renew an investigation into Clinton email servers. We already know she committed crimes. Even James Comey said she committed crimes. Want to know how I know? Here's James Comey. This is exactly what he said. This is exactly what he said. For example, 7 email chains concern matters that were classified at the top secret special access program level when they were sent and received. These chains involved Secretary Clinton both sending emails about those matters and receiving emails from others about the same matters. There is evidence to support a conclusion that any reasonable person in Secretary Clinton's position or in the position of those government employees with whom she was corresponding about these matters should have known that an unclassified system was no place for that conversation. Okay, translation, she knew what she was doing. And goes on, although there is evidence of potential violations of the statutes regarding handling and classified information. Of course there's evidence. Of course there was evidence. Even James Baker, the top FBI legal counsel, stated that there's evidence. We know that in The Hill. We know that from Paul Sperry. We know that from John Solomon. Our judgment is that no reasonable prosecutor would bring the case. They covered up her crimes. Mitchell Smith! Hillary Clinton said the average Democrat voter is just playing. They're easy to manipulate. That's the easy part. Exactly. Mitchell Smith, thank you as always. Mitchell Smith, thank you. What they're doing, Mitchell Smith, what they're doing with the help of Elizabeth Warren and a whole bunch of other candidates, especially Bernie, is they are getting voters to be enthusiastic. They're getting people ready for the 2000. I mean, what are you going to do if you're Clinton? You're going to run now? You're going to say, oh, well, yeah, I'm running. They're not going to. First of all, if she says I'm running now, people are going to be like, look, there's other politicians. All they have to do, all she has to do, all Hillary Clinton has to do is wait. All Hillary Clinton has to do is wait. You wait until all of these candidates, run out of money. And believe me, when I was saying that Bernie was going to win, oh my God, I was clickbait. I was horrible. I was crazy. I was all these extreme things, and I was right. He would have won. When I said that Clinton couldn't win, oh my God, it's so clickbait. It's so horrible. Now I'm saying, now I'm saying Clinton's going to run again. Oh my God, you've lost your mind. These are things that I'm always proven right about. In a fair election, in a fair primary, Bernie would have won. If there wasn't a cover-up, Clinton would have gotten indicted. And when people say, well, Clinton won and she didn't get indicted, that's not due to the fact that she earned a victory or the fact that she didn't commit crimes. She committed crimes and there was a cover-up. And nobody on the left cares. Nobody at all cares. The actual crimes with evidence are not as important to people as the fabricated crime of collusion with Russia, which didn't happen. There's no evidence. At the end of the day, Bernie Sanders is going to give any money that he has left to Hillary. What he's going to do is he's going to say, we have to fight the establishment, Medicare for all, and then he'll lose. He won't win enough states. Whereas I was right. I mean, he won Iowa, and that was some foul play. Then he won New Hampshire. And had he won both, whatever, thank God Trump won. But I had the pulse of what was going on back then, and nobody wanted to hear it. Nobody. Now that Bernie's not a threat, oh, well, he's just so fantastic and great. No, he's creating enough enthusiasm to where people who were really ready are then kind of let down because he's not winning. But you know what? Bernie will be like, and now, once again, I want you to vote for Hillary again. And they'll say, well, I guess we'll vote for Hillary because Trump is so horrible. You don't, I mean, like, where are all these people who were, Salome, thank you. Salome, thank you so very much. Thank you, Salome. Thank you for always watching. Thank you. Where are these people who, where are all the people who voted for Bernie, but then didn't vote during the election? Or where are all these people, I should say, like, why isn't AOC actively supporting Bernie Sanders now? I thought Bernie inspired all these people. She probably will. I'm assuming. And then you have the same thing as like you have all like Bernie Sanders light. You have clones of Bernie Sanders. You have Elizabeth Warren. Alexander, even Bernie can't make people vote for Hillary. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. And then people are like, there's a lot. Thank you, Alexander. Thank you. There are people who, like, people aren't going to, I guess, appreciate the message but people didn't appreciate the message in 2016. But I explained the reality of what was taking place. The reality was he actually was a threat. The reality was he would have won. And he would have won the presidency at that moment in time. The reality was that people didn't want him. He was a threat. And they took care of him. They said the Russians with Buff Bernie coloring book, and they got 2 years of they got 2 years of Bernie Sanders saying that Trump worked with Russia, and he didn't even realize. Bernie Sanders didn't even realize, or maybe he did, that he was actually part of the propaganda spin. The whole thing was that Russia made people vote for Bernie and Jill Stein. Bernie Sanders is there to create enthusiasm. He's not there to win. How do I know? Because he was cheated and he didn't care. If he was cheated, he didn't care. Rachel wins. Howdy, H. Did you hear about Senator Feinstein? Yeah, with the Green New Deal. Rachel wins. Thank you. That just goes to show. I mean, the Green New Deal resolution. Look, Feinstein, Pelosi, all the Schumer. They're not gonna push for they're not gonna push for a Green New Deal resolution that would tank the economy in like less than a year. They're not gonna do that. They're not stupid, and they know they need enthusiasm. They need to pontificate about climate change and ignore the fact that President Obama presided over the greatest expansion of domestic oil production. Obama takes credit for U.S. oil and gas boom. Okay, that was me, people. Well, I thought, wait a second, which one is it? Is it climate change is going to end the planet, or we should give credit to President Obama, a Democrat, who largest expansion of oil and gas? The irony of President Obama's oil legacy. America's biggest oil boom came under Obama. This is Business CNN. So, domestic oil production at record levels, despite Obama's claims on climate change. So, Obama shifts to speed oil and gas drilling in U.S. How Obama became the oil president. This is in 2014, Mother Jones. So, I mean, we have to hear these people like, oh my God, climate change. It's like, hello, did you see what President Obama did? Borracho wins. Yes, thank you. And Feinstein was like, look, she's not down with it. None of them are. None of them are. The resolution talks about indigenous people 6 times. And they're so, and my Federalist article explains how it would decimate indigenous communities around the world, especially in the Congo. Senator Elizabeth Warren, troops should withdraw, but not the way that Trump is doing it. Well, what do you mean? Like the way that he wants to actually bring them home? You cannot fix a problem that's existed for 20 years, actually decades before, hundreds of years, but 20 years we haven't fixed the problem. I think we should go. There's not like one way to leave other than leaving. They can't give Trump any credit for anything. They spent 2 years trying to tear away at U.S.-Russia relations. Now certain people on the left are like, oh my God, look what's taking place. Like, well, you worked for this. Then you get like some people who are like petulant. Well, he's not bringing home troops. Like, yes, he is. Don't worry. Ladies and gentlemen, I absolutely love the notion that it was clickbait when I said she couldn't win. Now it's clickbait when I'm saying she's running again. That really is Trump. This really is H.A. Goodman derangement syndrome. I don't think too highly of myself, but like people are they have derangement syndrome. It's clickbait and hyperbole when I say she can't win. And then it's hyperbole and clickbait when I say she's running. So, like, who's the problem really with? Me or just the fact that Clinton really doesn't care what the left thinks? Like, she doesn't care if she loses again. She doesn't care. She could then say, Ramla Farah, hello, thank you. She could then say, oh, well, you're going after me because I'm running. It is HA derangement syndrome. How dare you say she's running again? I swear that this was why I'm no longer on Facebook. There was one guy, one person that's like, you just want to create division. It's like the Russians want to create No, we already had problems before the election. Like people were arguing on Twitter and Facebook all the time, Bernie Sanders and Clinton supporters. Because Clinton supporters were saying, oh, this is not pragmatic. He's going to lose. And that was the only time he could win. Now, those same people are like, Bernie is good, you can really do, It's like, no. You can't be a populist and not a threat. If you're a populist and the establishment likes you, you're not really a populist. Salome, you're right. Thank you. Ronald, thank you. Yeah, I mean, if you look in life, if you mess up, you pay consequences. In politics, if you're Clinton, you can pretty much do anything up until this point, and all your problems will be covered over or covered up. You could pretty much do almost anything. Like transfer top secret intelligence outside of the United States government. James Comey will cover it up. In fact, your $1.2 billion election loss will be blamed on Russia, and you will get more. She will get more than 1.2 billion. She will break records. Do you think that Elizabeth Warren or Bernie or Kamala Harris or Kristen Gillibrand or anyone or Biden, you think Biden's going to break 1.2 billion for what? How? I mean, Clinton is a criminal. She'll get indicted eventually. She's never had a foreign policy decision to save her life. You can name, like, she's actually stated and done the most racist things. She is the embodiment of hypocrisy among the left, but she generates some level of enthusiasm. Like Biden, zero, negative. Biden is like negative, and none of the people. Okay, Democrats thus far. Democrats who are running for president. I can go down the list right now. Okay, Joe Biden, nothing. Michael Bloomberg, that's hilarious. Sherrod Brown, most people don't know who he is. Cory Booker, Spartacus. Julian Castro, okay, Kristen Gillibrand, Kamala Harris. They don't have name recognition throughout the country. Okay? They don't even have name recognition, they don't have a fundraising apparatus. These are not people that are going to raise $1 billion. Bernie Sanders raises money. He's going to give it all to Hillary. It wasn't my intention to give the remaining fundraising dollars, but you know how we do. There's not one person who has stated that he's running or she's running. Not one person who has any chance at beating Trump. And honestly, the only she won't defeat Trump. Trump will win re-election, but the person with the best chance is Hillary, which is funny and sad to say, but it is. She'll raise the most money. She'll demand the most allegiance, and people have already voted for her, even after not liking her. And it's like you can never make people happy. Before I said Clinton couldn't win, hyperbole, clickbait. Now I'm saying Clinton's running, hyperbole. You just can't win. You just can't win. You just can't win. You can't win. Can't win. Can't win. Can't win. Can't win. Oink oink. That's hilarious. If she won, I would shake her hand. I would shake her hand. Then I would get the disinfectant to be like. But I just love how there's like this phony pre-election buzz, like, gee, who's gonna run for Democrats? I think Biden has Gillibrand, Kamala Harris. They're wasting money. They're not really wasting money. They have to create some kind of buzz. They have to create some kind of enthusiasm. What are they gonna do? Yeah, Hillary's gonna run again, everybody. So just forget about it. They have to create some type of enthusiasm. Something. They got to do something. Hillary's running again, everyone. I'm saying it every single day. And I don't care if people get upset, because guess what? This is not against anyone's religion. This is not an egregious thing, a horrible thing to say. Hillary Clinton is running again. She's going to run again. Sorry if that gives you nightmares, people on the left. Okay? And you're going to vote for her anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, when she runs, this is what's going to happen. And I will tell you this. This is what's going to happen. She's going to wait until everyone, it's like a horse race. She's going to wait until everyone runs out of steam. And then she's going to come in with more money than you can even print. And everyone, including pundits on the left, are going to demand allegiance and obedience. Not from me, not from you, but people on the left. And they are going to say, if you don't, you're unpatriotic. If you don't vote for Hillary, you're unpatriotic. And there's going to be a debate stage where she'll be in the middle. And then you'll have Gillibrand and you'll have Bernie. I just want to say, oh no, I pointed again. I think that's very, very horrible that you pointed. Zip it, Gillibrand. I didn't mean to point at anyone. What I was trying to say, I'm pointing at Trump, okay? I'm pointing at the evil that he represents. I didn't mean to point as if I was this masculine person. Because we all know that pointing is a sign that represents, that is linked to a whole lot of theories about the subjugation of a whole lot of things. Did I do okay? No? Oh, great. What are they saying about me on Twitter? Still, I thought you can't do anything. I mean, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do to get people happy. I point, I don't point. I look this way, I don't look this way. I don't talk about her emails. I wasn't nice enough. The Russians this, the Russians that. I have nothing to do with Jill Stein. I don't even know her. She's got my personal cell number, yeah. I text her in the middle of the night, so what? I also text Deborah Wasserman. So I can't have friends? Oh, so I can't. You can have friends, I can't have friends. They're both married anyway. So there you go. Ladies and gentlemen. Rico Suave. There is nothing on planet Earth that Hillary ever wanted that she didn't get. And if we have to go down as a country, oh yeah, she's gonna get what she wants. There ain't nothing you can do. If she wants it, she's gonna get it. Honey, do you think really, I mean, the fifth time? It's a little bit ridiculous. It's 2056. We're over 100 years old. Can you just calm down? I don't want to run anymore. You think Bill has ever said in the past 30 years, no? I don't think that's okay, fine. Go ahead, jump in. There's a crocodile in there. Go with it. Go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. The crocodile is like, I'm out of here. Who is that creature? Hillary. Could you imagine? Honey, just don't throw the Bible at me again. I got to say, you got a slider. I mean, it was like Koufax. Just don't throw the Bible at me. Ladies and gentlemen, all right. Thank you so very, very much. There will be, it's a repeat of 2016. There's going to be, there are going to be Clinton investigations again, new investigations again, and she's running again. So don't, yet again, I'll be right about yet another thing. And that's it. To my super chat, thank you. I will be back. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so very much to my super chat. Thank you. And check out my writing below. I will be back. Clinton's running. She's running again. Thank you.